The people of Puerto Rico celebrated today after embattled Governor Ricardo Rosselló announced that he is resigning at the end of next week. Crowds turned out to mark the occasion after days of protests demanding that Rosselló step down.
His resignation was expected. There was too much pressure. The whole country is against him right now. He is one of the most hated people in the whole world. He had to resign. He had to leave.
We'll have a detailed look at all of this after the news summary. In the day's other news, the White House accused a federal court of judicial tyranny for blocking new asylum rules for migrants. The rules denied legal asylum to migrants at the southern border who passed through another country first. The judge in San Francisco put the policy on hold pending a final court decision. That superseded another judge's decision to let the policy stand. The White House had praised that ruling. The U.S. House of Representatives today passed a 2-year budget agreement and sent it on to the Senate. The White House and Speaker Nancy Pelosi worked out the deal with increases for defense and domestic programs and a suspension of the debt limit. Supporters on both sides said that it shows they can put aside politics for the national interest.
This is an example, Mr. Speaker, of how we can restore the faith of the American people in their government, avoid a shutdown, act responsibly, reach agreements, create consensus by showing that we can be responsible stewards of the economy.
This deal keeps our economy on solid ground because the United States will avoid defaulting on our financial obligations. Think of that. With this agreement, we can continue to invest in rebuilding our nation's defense and protecting our strategic interests around the world.
A number of conservative Republicans oppose the agreement as fiscally irresponsible. The House Oversight Committee authorized new subpoenas today aimed at the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, her husband, Jared Kushner, and other White House officials. They had refused to hand over communications sent by private email and messaging. Democrats say using such accounts for official business violates federal law. The president has repeatedly attacked Hillary Clinton for using a private email server as Secretary of State. In Britain, newly minted Prime Minister Boris Johnson urged the European Union to negotiate a new Brexit deal. He arrived in the House of Commons to heckling by opposition lawmakers, and he warned again that Britain will leave the EU on October 31st with or without a deal. Meanwhile, record-breaking heat baked Britain and the rest of Europe for a second day. It was 105 in Belgium, the hottest since record-keeping began in 1833. Northern Germany had a record 108 degrees. So did Paris, where people flocked to fountains and pools to cool down. But despite the searing temperatures, tourists largely seemed to take it in stride.
We've had such a good time. The Parisians have been so accommodating. We've been getting water wherever we go. We got to play in the fountain. This was amazing. We're really having a good time.
We have bottles of water with us, and we put sunscreen on them all the time, and we try to stay in the shade.
The heat came from an air mass that drifted north from the Sahara Desert and got trapped by other weather systems over Europe. Temperatures are expected to begin easing by tomorrow. Thousands of people protested today in Pakistan against Prime Minister Imran Khan just days after he met with President Trump. The opposition rallies came on the first anniversary of Khan's election. They charged his government has ruined the country's economy. They also accused Khan of letting Mr. Trump dictate policy at their White House meeting. Some 115 people are feared drowned off the coast of Libya after their crowded wooden boat capsized. More than 130 others were rescued. It happened near Al Khoms, east of Tripoli. The victims were mainly from African and Arab countries. United Nations refugee officials say more than 600 migrants have died this year trying to sail from Africa to Europe. Back in this country, 16 U.S. Marines were arrested today at Camp Pendleton, California, for crimes including smuggling migrants across the border with Mexico. None of the Marines are involved in enforcing border security, but their base is just 55 miles away. Some of those arrested also face drug charges. And on Wall Street, stocks slipped on disappointing corporate earnings reports. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 129 points to close below 27,141. The Nasdaq fell nearly 83, and the S&P 500 was down almost 16. Still to come on the NewsHour, what next after Puerto Rico's governor resigned following scandal and massive protests? After Mueller, 2 members of Congress evaluate the effect of the former special counsel's testimony. Attorney General Barr reinstates the federal death penalty, and much more.